Anger is everywhere. It hides in emails, texts, meetings, social media, and even your own mind. One wrong click, one harsh word, and a single moment of rage can destroy your relationships, ruin your career, and steal your peace of mind. But what if I told you there's a way to stop anger in its tracks, right when it rises, using nothing but your breath and awareness? Monks have been mastering this secret for centuries, and today, I'm going to show you 7 powerful lessons that can break anger's hold over your life. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to stay calm, focused, and in control, even when the world seems designed to provoke you. Anger in today's world doesn't stay trapped in your mind. It spills out into everything you do. One harsh email, one angry text, or one heated comment during a Zoom call can instantly ruin relationships, damage your reputation, and steal hours of your focus. In the heat of the moment, it feels like reacting will make you feel better, but it rarely does. Instead, it feeds the fire, makes the situation worse, and leaves you with regret that lingers long after the moment passes. Monks teach a powerful secret. Pause, take a deep breath, and give yourself a few seconds before responding. That simple act of awareness creates a space between your emotions and your actions. It's in that space that you regain control, think clearly, and respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. By practicing this small habit consistently, you learn to stop letting rage dictate your words and actions, protect your energy, and maintain calm even in stressful situations. Over time, you'll notice that one mindful pause can save not just your relationships, but your peace of mind and your entire day. In today's world, everyone is constantly talking, posting, and sharing opinions. Social media, group chats, office meetings, noise is everywhere. It's easy to think that staying silent means giving up or letting others take control. But monks teach something very different. Silence is a tool of strength, not weakness. When anger rises, the urge to argue, defend yourself, or lash out is natural, but responding immediately often makes things worse. Silence gives you a chance to pause, observe, and understand what's happening inside you before you act. It protects your energy, keeps your mind clear, and prevents unnecessary conflicts. In fact, silence can be more powerful than words because it gives others a moment to reflect, calms tense situations, and stops anger from escalating. By practicing silence, even in a noisy, chaotic world, you reclaim your power, maintain your peace, and respond with wisdom rather than impulse. Over time, this practice becomes a superpower, allowing you to navigate stressful situations with grace, confidence, and control. In our modern world, distractions are everywhere. Notifications, emails, social media, deadlines, and endless responsibilities. It's easy to get swept away in the chaos and let anger take over without even realizing it. Monks teach that the key to controlling anger is awareness. When you notice what's happening inside your mind, the rising tension, the racing thoughts, the triggers, you create a gap between the stimulus and your reaction. This gap is where true control begins. Awareness doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. It means observing your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. By practicing this, you learn to recognize anger the moment it surfaces, rather than letting it explode into words, actions, or decisions you'll regret later. In today's fast-paced life, awareness is like a shield that protects your focus, your relationships, and your peace of mind. The more you practice noticing your emotions and patterns, the less power anger has over you, and the more control you gain over your reactions and your life. In the modern world, life moves at an unprecedented speed. Emails pile up, notifications buzz constantly, deadlines loom over your head, and unexpected events hit without warning. In the midst of this chaos, anger can strike instantly. A harsh word from a colleague, a rude comment in a meeting, an aggressive message in your inbox, or a frustrating delay that seems insignificant but triggers a powerful emotional response. Most people react automatically in these moments, lashing out, sending impulsive messages, or speaking words that later leave a trail of regret. These reactions can damage careers, strain relationships, and create tension that lingers long after the initial incident. Monks, however, teach a simple yet life-altering secret: one conscious breath. That single, deep, deliberate breath creates a pause, a space where your mind and body reconnect, where clarity replaces chaos, and where control replaces impulsive reaction. In this brief moment, the surge of anger loses its power, and your rational mind gains dominance over emotion. You gain the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting destructively. The practice may seem small, but its impact is monumental. With each conscious breath, you train your mind to resist automatic triggers, to remain grounded under pressure, and to navigate challenges with calm and precision. Over time, this habit transforms not only how you handle immediate conflict, but also how you live your life. The breath becomes a lifeline, a tool that shields your mental and emotional well-being, preserves your relationships, and safeguards your career from impulsive mistakes. In a world where every decision, word, and action has consequences, mastering the power of a single conscious breath is mastering your life. It is the ultimate practice of self-control, the most practical form of mindfulness, and the secret weapon that allows you to remain unshaken, composed, and fully present, even when the world around you seems designed to provoke anger. In the world we live in today, toxic behavior is everywhere, and it can strike when you least expect it. It appears in workplaces where jealousy and competition run rampant, in social media where words are amplified and cruelty spreads instantly, in family dynamics layered with misunderstandings and unresolved tension, and even in casual interactions that seem minor but leave a lasting sting. When someone insults you, undermines you, or acts aggressively, the natural reaction is anger. Your heart races, your thoughts spiral, and your body prepares to respond defensively. Most people act immediately, sending that sharp email, firing back in a text, or snapping in a meeting. In doing so, they escalate the situation, feeding a cycle of resentment and stress that lingers far longer than the original incident. Monks teach a radically different approach: compassion as a weapon of power. This is not about excusing harmful behavior or being passive. It's about choosing awareness and understanding over impulsive reaction. Behind every hurtful action lies pain, fear, insecurity, or misunderstanding. When you pause and consider this, the anger that once consumed you begins to dissipate. You create a mental space where your response is intentional rather than reactive. Toxic people lose their control over you because your energy is no longer a source of fuel for their negativity. Think about it in practical terms. Instead of lashing out at a rude coworker, you respond calmly and strategically. Instead of getting trapped in a spiraling social media argument, you step back and observe without reacting. Instead of snapping at a family member during a heated moment, you take a breath, understand their perspective, and respond thoughtfully. Each time you respond with compassion, you protect your emotional energy, preserve your relationships, and maintain clarity of mind. Over time, this approach rewires your brain. You become resilient in the face of provocation. Words that would have once triggered explosive anger now meet calm awareness. Situations that could have escalated into career-threatening or relationship-damaging conflicts remain manageable. Compassion acts like water against fire. It softens, flows, adapts, and ultimately wears down hostility, without compromising your own integrity. It is a form of inner strength that requires discipline, patience, and constant practice. In a modern world where every interaction can have immediate and lasting consequences, monks show us that true power is not in meeting aggression with aggression, but in transforming it through understanding, empathy, and calm mastery. Each moment you choose compassion, you reclaim your energy, maintain your focus, and cultivate peace. It is not a passive act. It is the ultimate demonstration of self-mastery, a strategy for thriving in chaos, and the key to living unshaken by the anger and negativity of others. When practiced consistently, compassion becomes more than a habit. It becomes a shield, a tool of power, and a pathway to freedom from the constant turbulence of modern life. In today's fast-moving world, we often forget one simple truth: nothing lasts forever. Deadlines come and go, conversations fade, social media storms rise and vanish, and even our strongest emotions, fear, frustration, anger, are temporary. Yet most people behave as if anger is permanent, as if every insult, every frustration, and every provocation is a life sentence. They cling to it, replay it in their minds, let it dominate their thoughts, and allow it to dictate their reactions. This is the trap of modern life, holding tightly to emotions that are, by nature, fleeting. Monks, however, understand impermanence on a profound level. They meditate on the constant flow of change in every aspect of existence. They know that every feeling, every thought, every challenge, no matter how overwhelming, will pass. By embracing this understanding, anger loses its power. When you realize that the irritation in your email, the frustration from your boss, or the harsh comment online is temporary, it no longer has the ability to control your mind. You begin to respond from a place of clarity rather than reaction. You learn to see anger for what it truly is: a passing wave that rises, crests, and eventually fades. The monk does not suppress anger, nor does he cling to it. He observes it, understands it, and lets it flow away naturally, like water over rocks. This perspective transforms the way you live. Imagine a day where your plans fall apart, where people act unfairly, where technology fails at the worst moment, or where a sudden conflict arises. Instead of letting anger dictate the tone of your entire day, you pause and remind yourself, this will pass. This feeling is temporary. That single acknowledgement creates a mental distance, a sense of control, and a reservoir of calm that allows you to act wisely rather than impulsively. Over time, this practice rewires your response to stress, frustration, and provocation. You no longer expend energy on resentment, grudges, or reactivity. Instead, you channel your energy into action, focus, and growth. Impermanence also teaches humility and patience. It reminds you that life is a constant flow, sometimes smooth, sometimes turbulent, and that clinging to anger or resentment is like trying to hold water in your hand. The tighter you grip, the more it slips away. When you accept the transient nature of emotions, you gain freedom. Anger becomes a teacher rather than a tyrant. Challenges become opportunities to practice patience and resilience. Every moment of calm, every pause, and every breath becomes a conscious choice to rise above the chaos. In the chaos of modern life, where triggers are everywhere and stress is constant, this lesson is nothing short of revolutionary. Understanding impermanence is not just philosophy. It is a practical tool to protect your mind, your energy, and your life. It allows you to face every situation with clarity, respond with wisdom, and maintain a state of peace even when the world seems determined to provoke you. Accept that everything changes, and you will find that anger, no matter how intense, is nothing more than a passing shadow. Powerless over a mind that sees clearly, breathes deeply, and remains unshaken. In the modern world, anger is more contagious and destructive than ever. It spreads instantly through emails, social media posts, group chats, and even casual conversations. One careless word, one triggered response, and an entire day or even a relationship can be ruined. Most people spend their lives reacting to external events, letting every insult, frustration, or provocation dictate their mood, decisions, and actions. They surrender their power to situations they cannot control, and in doing so, they allow anger to control them. Monks, however, reveal a profound truth. True power does not come from controlling the world around you. It comes from mastering yourself. Mastery over your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions, and your breath is the ultimate victory. It is the weapon that no external force can ever take away. Mastering yourself begins with awareness. The monk does not suppress anger. He observes it. He notices the first flicker of irritation, the subtle rise of tension in his body, the racing thoughts in his mind. He does not act on them impulsively. Instead, he creates space, an inner pause where observation replaces reaction. Then comes the breath, the conscious, deliberate breath that anchors the mind and calms the body. One breath taken with awareness can transform a surge of anger into clarity, a moment of tension into an opportunity for wisdom, and a potentially destructive situation into a chance to respond with composure and skill. Beyond breath and awareness, mastery requires discipline. Monks cultivate daily habits that strengthen the mind, train emotional resilience, and sharpen focus. They do not rely on fleeting motivation or temporary willpower. They rely on consistent practice, meditation, reflection, mindful living. Every moment of control builds a foundation so solid that no external chaos, no argument, no criticism, no online attack can shake them. Mastery is not an abstract idea. It is a practical skill applied in every interaction, every challenge, and every decision. In today's life, mastering yourself is revolutionary. It means that when a colleague undermines you, you respond calmly instead of reacting impulsively. When a viral comment attacks you online, you pause and choose your words carefully, or choose silence. When unexpected setbacks occur, you face them with resilience instead of frustration. This mastery transforms anger from a destructive force into a tool for personal growth. It rewires your brain to see challenges as opportunities, conflict as a teacher, and stress as a signal to pause, breathe, and regain control. The ultimate lesson monks teach is that you cannot control the world, but you can control yourself. External chaos will always exist, but a mastered mind remains unshaken. A mastered heart remains compassionate. A mastered life remains peaceful, productive, and purposeful. The monk breaks the neck of anger not through force or suppression, but through presence, awareness, discipline, and unwavering self-control. Every breath, every pause, every conscious choice reinforces your mastery, your freedom, and your power. When you master yourself, anger loses all dominion. You are no longer a victim of circumstance, no longer a slave to fleeting emotions, and no longer at the mercy of others' actions. Mastery is freedom. Mastery is power. Mastery is living life unshaken, unstoppable, and fully awake. This is the pinnacle of wisdom. To master yourself is to master life itself, to reclaim every moment, every decision, and every interaction from the chaos of uncontrolled emotion. In a world designed to provoke, distract, and enrage, this is the ultimate victory, and it begins with one conscious choice, one deliberate breath, and one unwavering commitment to remain in control of your mind, body, and spirit. Anger is the thief of peace, focus, and clarity. It sneaks into emails, texts, meetings, and conversations, stealing your energy before you even notice. But the monk shows us another path, a path that doesn't rely on suppressing anger, arguing, or fighting back. Instead, it relies on awareness, breath, silence, compassion, and mastery of the self. Every lesson you've learned today is a key. Pause before reacting, speak less, and observe more. Breathe deeply when anger rises. Understand the pain behind others' actions. Embrace the impermanence of every emotion, and ultimately, master yourself. These are not abstract teachings. They are practical tools for surviving and thriving in a world filled with stress, provocation, and constant distraction. When you pause, you reclaim your power. When you breathe, you regain control. When you respond with compassion, you disarm toxicity without losing your peace. When you master yourself, no situation, no person, and no emotion can shake you. Life will always challenge you, but your mind, trained in the way of the monk, becomes unshakable, clear, and free. So, start today. One conscious pause, one deep breath, one choice to remain unshaken. The power to crush anger, protect your peace, and live a life of clarity and purpose has always been inside you. Anger may come, but it cannot win. You are in control. You are the master of your mind. You are free. One breath, total control, endless peace. Don't let anger steal another moment of your life. Pause, breathe, observe, and master yourself. The power is already within you. Now claim it.